Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show, and I have an anime of the week. It is called Spriggan. And as it turns out, Spriggan is actually a pretty fucking old anime. It has an original anime that came out in like 1998 or some shit. It has a manga series. So I didn't know this, but this anime is fairly new. It just came up on Netflix. I believe it released last week, so it's right fresh on Netflix. So it's both an anime of the week and a Netflix review of a show at the same exact time. Now this show is interesting because when I was originally watching it, I didn't know what I was going to get from it. But what you end up getting is a show that's like something like a national treasure. In terms of the globetrotting of this like it's kind of like a national treasure in terms of the relics and the unique and like the areas they go to find these things. But in short, Spriggan is about apparently long ago, it's the ancient alien theory taken to another level. Because long ago, there are all these artifacts. And for an example, there are all these artifacts and things of myth that turns out to be real, but they might be alien in origin. And all over the world, there are these ancient alien artifacts, weapons that can do all kinds of crazy shit. And, some seem spiritual in nature, because there's clearly multiple things going on, because this is a world where there's ancient alien technology and there's spirits and ghosts and shit. And so there's a lot going on. There's a character there's a lot going on in this world, really. But in short, the show revolves around this teenage Japanese kid named Yu. Now, Yu is not like an ordinary teenager, as he is a member of this private organization called, what was it called? Was it ARCAM? ARCAM. I think it's ARCAM. I think it's ARCAM. And their goal is to go around the world. It's a private organization. Now, this organization, it's based out of Japan, but it's not Japan. There's multiple. It's an international organization. It has American bases and whatnot. It just so happens that the origin of this organization came from Japan, ARCAM. Which at first I thought, because the way that first episode was worded, it made it seem like I was gonna have a problem. But I'll get into that later. The ARCAM's goal is to go around the world and secure all of these ancient weapons and either destroy them or seal them away, because these weapons are so powerful that if they get in the hands of the wrong people, government, whatever, they could really change the tide of the world. For instance, spoiler alert for one episode, one of the artifacts they find is the fucking is Noah's fucking Ark. And it's a full Noah's Ark. But as it turns out, at least in the world of Spriggan, Noah's Ark wasn't designed to survive. Wasn't just designed to survive a giant flood. Inside was advanced technology and advanced genetic slicing technology, which they don't really say, but it either hints to two different possibilities. Either Noah, with the help of some ancient alien, was basically said, fuck all of this, we're going to start over, because one of the things that Noah's Ark can do is there's advanced weather manipulation, atmosphere manipulation technology that it hints to cause the flood to happen. AKA, whoever this alien / Noah was, which I guess they're hinting that Noah wasn't even an actual person, he was some alien in disguise, decided, I don't like the way things are here, I don't like these animals, I don't like this, so we're gonna just cause a flood and start over. And we built this ark so that we can do it easier. And it's many things like that, where objects and artifacts that you've heard of and legends and things and allusions to the Bermuda Triangle and things of that nature. And it's very, like I said, it's very diverse. Every episode is something different. Now, I will admit, the show does feel like it's only half a show because there's only 6 episodes. The 6 episodes, about 25 minutes a pop. And it has some really fun action. But you is the main character. Like I said, he's a young Japanese kid. He's a part of this organization, and he is what they call, or what ARCAM calls, a Spriggan. A Spriggan is an elite trained soldier who, either through use of technology or use through skills or use through powers that they have, are like, they're the best. The Spriggan are the guys they send out to get the shit done. And you is one of the best. Using his like muscle suit, he has this like mechanical like power muscle suit that they've developed from all the artifacts that they've captured over the years, and the suit allows him to like really do all kinds of things. But at the end of the day, it's all his skill, because he has to be in unison with the muscle suit. So where most kids are going to school at 16, which you tries to do, he's out going on dangerous missions in forests, and I love when when anime started like using real world as the backdrop, especially when they're doing more fantastical things, it's always interesting. It's always interesting about like, how real world are you gonna be about this? And there's another anime that I watched a while ago. I might review that, called Gate, and that was revolved around this gate to a fantasy world opened up in the middle of fucking Japan, and it was so fascinating to see how the other countries, France and all these other German and U.S., how all these countries reacted to that, and how all these countries were angling to try to figure out a way to fucking basically invade Japan and get access to that portal. And it was such an interesting thing, and the way they were playing with it, like I said, it was very fascinating. And they do something similar to that in Spriggan. Clearly, these artifacts aren't something that are just known to the ARCAM organization. These artifacts are something that are known by the US government, by the Russian government, basically most of the governments around the world. And half of the time, you spends most of his time fighting off members of the US government, the Russian government, and all these different governments who are sending people out there. Now, they did make the US look pretty bad, though. Now, they didn't make Japan look great, because they straight up say it's like, no, we are a private organization. ARCAM's a private organization, but there is a certain character and certain characters in one of the episodes which they were cool, but the vibe you got is like, damn, like, because there's a character who has psychic abilities, just super powerful psychic abilities, and he's a kid, and he's from the US, and he's a US experiment, which means the US experimented on a kid and pumped him full of we don't know what, but pumped him full of so much of it that he had psychic abilities, and he's like it's a whole sad affairs. There's so many, but it's not just that, because because he fights a Russian, he fights a Frenchman. There are it's like I said, it's a battle, just because you just hope that nobody gets that, because when you see the power that some of these artifacts have, it's insane. I mean, one of those artifacts was a fucking moving island that was moving between dimensions. It's crazy. It's crazy. And the show, and like I said, the show, there's so much fun to be had with the show, because you never know what he's going to be going after next week. And in that way, it's kind of serialized. Like I said, one of the issues maybe you can have with the show is there is no through line. At least there hasn't been one set up 6 episodes into that first season. There isn't really a through line. It's just you going from mission to mission to mission, and interacting with rivals and villains and allies and all these different types of people that he interacts with, and all of them are so fascinating and interesting. And like I said, every episode is so unique from the others, because it's just you being dropped into another type of situation and then another type of situation, and either making an ally or an enemy, but mostly an ally. And the last episode was badass, but like I said, but it's a very enjoyable show. It's very unique. I love this concept. It's got so much potential to it. This is a world that needs to be explored more, because when you open up with there are all these ancient alien relics and stuff all around the world that are based off of, you know, mythological stuff, and they're all around the world. When you have that as the backdrop, as the premise of your show, there's a limitless possibilities. I mean, they could have one where they find Atlantis. They could have one where they find the Triton. They could have one where they find, you never know. They could have one where they have to go to Norway and Thor's hammer's out there. There's so many possibilities. There's so many possibilities for this show, Spriggan, and I hope it gets a season 2 so it can come back, because admittedly, the only real complaint I had about the show is not only did it not have a through line, but it kind of just ends, you know? Like, it kind of just ends. And when it ends, it's just like, damn, I'm expecting another episode. Like, or maybe it's just they have half and half. I'm not sure. But either way, I enjoyed Spriggan. I thought it was a really good anime. I thought it was a really interesting idea. The concept, putting it in the real world, the idea that all these ancient weapons of mass destruction are around the world, that essentially the world is in like a shadow war. There's like a shadow war going on with all these organizations around the world over who can get their hands on these weapons. And it's a very fascinating thing. It's like that's going on. No one knows about it. You know, no one in the public knows that this is going down, but it's going down. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Oh, almost forgot. I would give Spriggan, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I would ask you guys to, I think you guys should check it out, especially if you're into supernatural stuff, if you're into the action anime stuff, then this will be right up your alley. Thank you guys again. I'll see you in the next one. Please like, subscribe. Peace.